This morning, let's explore an excerpt from Bhikkhu Bodhi's preface to the Buddha's, or in the Buddha's words. Then let's meditate. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is brought to you by the kind folks who help support this channel on Patreon. This morning, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two. But first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as profoundly as Qui-Gon Jinn on Naboo, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Good news. If at any point during this morning's live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, or Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. This book is intended for two types of readers. The first are those not yet acquainted with the Buddhist discourses, who feel the need for a systemic introduction. For such readers, any of the Nikayas is bound to appear opaque. All four of them viewed at once may seem like a jungle, entangling and bewildering, full of unknown beasts, or like the great ocean, vast, tumultuous, and forbidding. I hope that this book will serve as a map to help them wend their way through the jungle of the suttas, or as a sturdy ship to carry them across the ocean of the Dhamma. We come now to our practice text, or sadhana if you're nasty. Its title is Secular Contemplation, Mindfulness, and Meditation. It is based on my adaptation and amplification of the Buddha's meditation manual, the Anapanasati Sutta. The Anapanasati Sutta contains 16 exercises, which for animals with only 5 digits on each appendage can seem overwhelming. Therefore, I like to describe it in terms of 1 set of 4 contemplations and 3 sets of 4 meditations. We're going to begin with we divide the practice up into 4 sets of 4, the 4 corresponding to the 4 bases of mindfulness, which in my view of things should be organized in terms of the circumstantial, the physical, the interpersonal, and the mental. We begin with Dhammasati, which is more honestly Anicca Vipassana's set of 4 impermanence contemplations, which really help us to sustainably let go, especially the next time you feel anxious or hot under the collar or just like you got the blues. At the very top of each exercise, there's a piece of notation that's designed for people who are taking a 16-week journey towards mastery. Every week we are introduced to 1 exercise that takes about 3.5 minutes to practice. So the first week you practice about 3.5 minutes every 12 hours. The second week would be about 7 minutes. The third week it'll be 7 plus 3, So that'll be about 10.5 minutes. Every week adding on until eventually you're about 75 minutes, which is pretty cool. Because it's gradual, it's easy for your body and your mind and the people you live with, whether they are dogs or cats or partners or children, will get the idea that you're not going to leave them, you're not going to become a nun or a monk, you're just trying to be more peaceful, and they'll be much more supportive that way. So, we come to the first of 4 contemplations where we consider course and permanence. We're going to play with 4 rhetorical questions. By definition, a rhetorical question, we do not ask a rhetorical question in efforts to discover an answer or receive an answer. We're going to play with these 3 words of a rhetorical question. We're going to recite them silently and mentally in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation and our relaxation. And ironically enough, that's enough. If you do that, you will make progress on the path of peace. We're going to practice 2 sets of 16 rounds. A round is 1 in-breath followed by an out-breath. We can count to 16 on our left hand by advancing our thumb during every inhalation. First round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, sixth round, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. And we talked about 2 sets. So for the first contemplation, I like to use the first 2 creases of the little finger. For the next contemplation, I like to use the first 2 creases of the right ring finger, and so forth on the middle finger and then the index finger. We switch now to, we come to the second of four contemplations where we consider subtle impermanence. Well, that's weird. Let's see if I can't fix that bad boy. We come now to the third of four contemplations, very subtle impermanence. Now we come to the fourth of four contemplations, where we consider relinquishing, yielding, surrendering. What releasing? One moment. We come now to Kaya Sati's only set of 4 preliminary meditations that center on our bodies. So, during our inhalation, we silently and mentally recite the verb calm. During the exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the object phrase breathing long. This reminds us that when our exhalation is longer than our inhalation, it's calming. During our inhalation, we silently and mentally recite the adjective short. During the exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the three-syllable verb energize. This reminds us that when our inhalation is shorter than our exhalation, it can be energizing. During our inhalation, we silently and mentally recite the sensory verb feel. During our exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the object phrase this body. Doing so will be our first introduction to bliss. In the Buddhist sense, bliss is any sensation that is not painful. We're talking about some low-hanging fruit. Additionally, it would be good to explain that we don't have to force ourselves to feel. We are already wired to access our sympathetic nervous system during every inhalation. This sympathetic nervous system has evolved for not to actively concentrate, but to perceive vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. We come to the final meditation for this morning's practice. During the inhalation, we silently and mentally recite form, which functions as the monosyllabic synonym for body. During the exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the 3-syllable verb relaxing. Now, here's the cool thing. There is no requirement to force your body to relax. The reason for that is that every time we exhale, we are wired to access our we are wired to access our parasympathetic nervous system, which has evolved to both physically relax as well as mentally release. And something funny happens when we do that. Every time we relax in harmony with our exhalation, whatever it is we noticed during our inhalation could now feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast, empty void. Now, a simile is only as useful as it is relatable. Therefore, what is a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast, empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could seem quite tantalizing to the eye, is intangible to the hand? If you feel that I have earned it, you could type something in the chat window. You could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could share it with a friend. You could even help support this channel on Patreon. In approximately 3 1/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's afternoon meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.